Right guys, it is driver test time, and a very exciting one for myself, and one that you guys have been asking for. Start of the season, what am I going to have in my bag? And I have two contenders. These two bad boys. So I've got the TaylorMade M1 and I've got the Ping G. I had to go with the Ping G on the course the other day. It was okay. Wasn't amazing, but I think that was me more than the club, to be honest with you. But I'm very excited to test these two side by side. M1 is my current driver at the moment. Absolutely love it. It's the best driver I have ever had. But the Ping G is a contender. Bit more forgiving. And I hit a 350 yarder the other day on the GC2, which I'm going to be using to test. I've got the same shaft, well, pretty much the same shaft. On the Ping G, I've got the Tour X Aldila Rogue, but it is the Tour X. I just got the standard X in the M1. Driver-wise, they're trying to do the same thing. A little bit lower spin, although the G is a 460 head, and my M1 is the 430. What's going to happen, I don't know. I think both these drivers are fantastic, but what happens now is going to decide what's going to go in my bag, so stay tuned. It's going to be a combination of longest, it's going to be a combination of most forgiving, and it's going to be a combination of dispersion as well. Right, so here we go. This test is going to be simple. I'm going to hit 10 balls with each driver, compare the results, and then just simply see what we see. I'm very excited about this. Obviously testing new clubs is always exciting, but trying out them side by side and seeing what's what is going to be even better. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the GC2. I'm just going to hit the 10 shots in a row. I'm not going to talk about the performance, and then I'm going to have a recap afterwards. So 10 shots first of all with the G. Let's go. Let's turn this on first. I'll walk right up to it. Right, so 20 shots hit there. Now, I wouldn't particularly say that I was swinging it, hitting particularly well. I hit some good shots, also hit a few kind of varied shots as well. And we'll look through all the kind of numbers here and all the stats and have a kind of a think. I think I have an early contender here anyway. Let's put it that way. So what we can kind of see here, I mean, if we have a look at the headline numbers here, I suppose, first of all. So if I have a look at the total distance kind of category here for the Ping G LS Tech. Now you can see total distance, 317 on average out of those 10 shots. My longest drive there was, I had a couple there of longest drives at 331. Which I'm kind of happy with. I did go on to 350 the other day, but what was down today for me was the carry distance. So I didn't actually carry one over 300. My average carry was 281. Total spin numbers, this is quite a biggie for me. Total spin numbers average out at 1.5. I've never had spin numbers that consistently low. On a few occasions almost a little bit too low, which is a new one. So that could be a little bit of an adaptation of the loft that I could make on the club head to give me that little bit more spin, maybe that little bit more launch as well. So yeah, the actual kind of backspin numbers here, if you want to look at it, 1400, sorry, average not 50, I was looking at the total spin. My average, I mean, I'm going at 1-1, 1-5, 1-3, 1-0, 1-8, 1-5, 1-7, 1-6, 1-1. The spin numbers here so incredibly low. Now, the reason I'm excited about this is that my spin numbers have pretty consistently been too high. With every driver I've ever had, there's always been too high. And if anything, I'd say that's maybe too low. So with a slight adaptation of kind of the adjustable kind of hosel and everything else, I could get a little bit more. So I'm really excited about that. Offline, I was kind of tending to veer off to the left hand side, apart from one that I really pushed big off to the right hand side. It was a similar story with the TaylorMade, although on the range, so in real ball data, they actually look to be going straighter. It could be possibly that the GC2 was slightly angled off to the left hand side. So in general, not bad if that was the case. So 14 left, 14 left, 20 left, 60 left, that was a big toey snapper. 55 right, big right one, kind of to kind of balance that out, unfortunately. But in general there, yes, pretty happy. Club head speeds, kind of down at this end column here, you'll see 111 miles an hour average. Now, bearing in mind when I was doing my quest for 350, I was using the Titleist D3 and my club head speeds were maxing out at about 128 I got them to, so there's a significant drop off there. Reasons for that, I've got a kind of heavy shaft in the G, but also it's a much larger club head. Even with the turbulators, which are shown to work, and I do believe they do work, to add that extra aerodynamics, it's a bigger club head. It's going to move slower through the air, and obviously it's a cold evening down here in Lytham as well. So, pretty impressive numbers, I think. Pretty impressive numbers, and I like the way that the club looks. It sits really well behind the ball. It's all very positive. TaylorMade. Now, first of all, club head speed, you'll see there's an increase here in 8 miles an hour average. Smaller head for a start, it's a 430 head, allows me to move it a little bit quicker, possibly going at it a little bit harder as well. Maybe it wasn't consciously done though, possibly subconscious, but I wasn't meaning to. I think my swings, probably when I watch it back, will look similar in pace. So extra club head speed, but what you'll actually see here, I've got the dots on the TaylorMade face, so you can have a look at all the club head data as well. But my efficiency there down at 138, so the smash factor, so that was quite low. And if you have a look at my total distance, it was about 10 yards less than the G. Now I think that's more to do with strike. Because the G is a bigger club, because it's a little bit more forgiving, I was able to get a little bit more total distance on the off-center strikes at the same time. My carry distance with the M1 was up, so it was up from the G. I had one carry over at 303, but you can see the inconsistencies there. So the distance wise, I also had kind of one at 331 with the M1 as well, but the distance fluctuated quite a lot. With the G, I only had one drive less than 300 yards at 285. All the rest of them was over 300. You can actually see when I get to the M1, that fluctuates because of the strike, because it was inconsistent. Because of that, total spins and backspin numbers were up, and I think again that's more to do with the strike, because obviously the M1 is a low spinning driver anyway. By these early results, and by the way that the balls were shaping in the air, by the way that the ball flights looked, I was more inclined and more happy by the G, I think. I'm gonna have to do some more testing, because I'm not gonna drop the M1 out of my bag lightly, because it is the best driver I've ever had. But is the G going to give me that little bit more consistency? Can I increase the club head speed a little bit more and get even more distance? Interesting stuff. Let us know what you think. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow us on all our other social media platforms. I'm going out to Orlando next week, so whatever driver I've had in the bag there, you will see that I've decided. Right guys, cheers for watching. We'll see you soon.